Now focus on the real economy. IDFC First Bank is the stock in focus. What we are trying to get a sense of is the MSME space, credit growth as well as asset quality in the MSME sector, because the COVID stress is widely perceived as affecting this space a goodish bit, and V. Vaidyanathan is a long time observer of this space. That's the Managing Director and CEO of IDFC First Bank. Good morning, Mr. Vaidyanathan. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Well, that's actually the first broad brush question to you. Your own bank lends a lot to MSMEs, and even in your previous avatar before you became bank, you had a lot of AI and analysis of MSMEs. How's the entire sector shaping up?
I think the sector went through a lot of pain, and as you could see from the restructuring, the moratorium data, close to about 60% of MSMEs actually are restructuring. So that tells you that there was an issue. But I think in the last 3 months, things have quite sharply changed, basically because of what the RBI did in terms of TLTRO 1, 2, liquidity, government, emergency credit line scheme, whatever. I can't say whatever, but all of them put together have made a significant impact in the lives of the MSME sector. So broadly, our feel is that the extent of damage is not as widely feared earlier. Restructuring numbers will not be what they were initially estimated by ICRA and other rating agencies. So overall, I definitely feel that things are getting better even at MSME stage.
Okay. Vaidyanathan, good morning. I wanted your thoughts on what's happening on the Capital First business, the consumer financing. Because you have, of course, Bajaj Finance as the big player, and you are a strong number 2 player, I guess. But if you could tell us the demand trends in that space.
See, demand over last year is flat. Typically for the segments that we do finance, like refrigerators, televisions, mobile phones, and those kind of stuff, India sells about 1.2 to 1.3 crore pieces a month in that ticket category. If you see this number of this year, it's same as last year. So let me say that the demand has caught up to same period last year.
Okay. Mr. Vaidyanathan, good morning and Happy New Year to you. Thanks for joining us on the show. You said there is a pickup that you're seeing, a recovery that you're seeing in the MSME space, but can you just corroborate that with some numbers? I mean, what are the repayments like in the MSME sector compared to what we've seen in the past, and what is the expectation as we move along?
So basically now collections, if that's one proxy, has already reached about 95% to 100% of pre-COVID numbers, what was in January and February. And that's really good news. I think people feared the worst, so did many. It's looking good now, let me just put it like that. And I'd say this for the system, and I'd say that maybe similar for us. What is really happening is that on the basis of our own dipstick study, businesses for MSMEs often have come up about 65 to 80% of pre-COVID in the traditional industries, but repayments have touched 95-100%. You might wonder how is this possible, and that's because on the basis of our talk to many small entrepreneurs, it basically shows up that when they're collecting about 80-90% or 70% of the pre-COVID numbers, the first money is going to repay the bank. So their savings has come down after paying the bank compared to pre-COVID, but they're honoring installments. This is a very key insight we got by talking to small entrepreneurs.
Okay. Would you be able to give us some idea, Mr. Vaidyanathan, about how many people have asked for restructuring? What percentage of your book and what percentage of your MSME book?
Okay. For us, basically, we expect about 2 to 2.25% of our loan book to come up for restructuring. In the case of retail customers, we provided a very unique facility, I think. Basically, what we did was we provided a straight-through processing of restructuring. Basically, we told people, don't come to the branch, don't apply for it, don't give us paper. Just come, you pop up your OTP, submit it, and then you drag and drop what extent of restructuring you want, press the button, and we give it to you straightforward. Now, that was a really big hit. So we gave close to about 80,000 customers restructuring, totaling up to about 700 crores. And by March, we expect this to touch 1,000 crores on the manual underwriting process. So to the extent that is manual. So basically, that's about 1,000 crores on the retail side, and the corporate side another 1,000 crores. So total on a loan book of about 1 lakh crore or so, a little more than that. About 2,000 crores is coming up for restructuring for us.
Okay. So
and I think
how did you arrive at the 2.5%?
8%?
Yeah. So from there you are arriving at this 2.5%, 2 to 2.5% possible stress, is it?
I can't call it stress. I tell you, of course, restructuring is restructuring. So you've got to wait to see how it performs. But yes, that's where we come to the 2.5% number. Our case probably made 2, a little more than 2. But I've done some peer talk with the rest of the banking system. My sense is that the extent of restructuring, the 8% number put out by ICRA when the restructuring was announced, the good news is that it's getting nowhere close to that number. You can call it 2, you can call it 2.5. My guess is that will be the number for the banking system.
Yes, actually that is exactly the number which State Bank of India also gave. Dinesh Khara also spoke about 2.5% in terms of slippages. That quite clearly is your peer group assessment as well. Mr. Vaidyanathan, now if we can come to growth. You said that when Anuj asked you, you said the consumer durable space 1.3 crore pieces are sold every month, and now that is stagnating. Is that what you're saying? So where is growth then in terms of credit growth?
Well, stagnating is not correct because it's coming off a very terrible April, May, June. So let me say it's caught up to the pre-COVID number. I mean, pre-number of the same time last year. Now, where is demand coming from? We are finding, if you think of housing, two-wheelers, consumer durables, personal credit, all of this is a proxy of consumption, so to say. Then we find that housing and consumption is the biggest ticket of growth at this point of time. Let me say housing. In any case, 50% of India's retail credit market itself is housing. So if that goes, it will give a lift to the retail market. The second item of growth, I would say, is the rural banking business, and that's really fantastic. It's very true that rural did get affected. You must have heard this from many people who spoke to you. Their business is really doing very well. And third, I would say in that category, I would say SME credit growth has been the laggard, so to say, in terms of demand for growth. But really, when the economy picks up, that will pick up too.
I mean, it's very difficult to assess how much credit growth will happen. Last week, the Reserve Bank weekly supplement number was for the first time touching over 6%, 6.1 after the COVID fall. And yet, when you had HDFC's numbers declared overnight, there the Q3 disbursements are very good. I think it was a 26% growth that they are showing. So, I mean, how do you pitch credit growth for you, say for the year? I mean, I don't want you to reveal your Q3 numbers, but for the year, how do you think you might finish?
Okay, basically we are seeing that, demand for all our retail consumption products and let me just say retail businesses is actually begun to outstrip what it was the same period last year. So if that momentum sustains, and we have a reason to believe now it will sustain, we think that this year is one year where we can grow the book. If for 2 years we told the market and to you and everybody that we did not grow the loan book for liability reasons. But I'm happy to say that from this year onwards, our loan book will begin to grow. We are actually seeing demand in the categories I told you, pretty strong demand, not normal, pretty strong demand, except MSME, where as I said, I called it a laggard. I called it like almost catching up last year. Other businesses are really doing very well, meaning it'll be more than last year. So book will begin to grow by March of this year.
Okay. On MSMEs, I just had a follow-up. You said that it not only is a laggard, you said MSME business is back to 65 to 68% of pre-COVID levels. Why is it lagging behind? I mean, what are the challenges that still lie in that sector? And when do you see it come back entirely to pre-COVID levels?
When I said 65 to 70%, I said of their businesses. We have done a poll of our customers to figure out how much is the demand in their own lives, especially, of course, in Mumbai it's low because of lack of trains and so on, but across the system maybe 70%. But of course, it has a direct reflection about extent of demand in the credit market also. But that is a direct impact of COVID, because basically when the COVID hit, the large corporates were well cushioned. They all had reserves, and as you know, this year, this cycle around, large corporate who have borrowed above 500 crore, even by CRISIL report, are quite under-leveraged. So they could power up and keep moving. The small entrepreneurs medium entrepreneurs always have lesser reserves. They have a harder life. So I think their demand comes back with a lag. Basically to me it's always a lag. The consumption picks first. When consumption picks, then the demand for air conditioners, televisions pick up, and then the distributor chain starts coming with a lag. So MSME credit is always a 6-month lag over consumption. So we feel it's 6 months away.
Okay, we will touch base with you, of course, regularly to check up when and how much it has picked up. Thank you very much, Mr. Vaidyanathan.
So, Lata, I want to just close out saying, I want to make one comment before I leave.
Sure.
That this is for the benefit of everybody. First of all, I wish you and everybody, all of you, a very happy new year. I believe a mega decade is coming up in front of us. I did some numbers, I want to just share with you. In 2010, the loan book of the Indian banking system was 33 lakh crores. Today is 100 lakh crores. And this is despite the fact that we had every crisis of high inflation and, all the problems. And then we had reforms like GST and demonetization and then COVID. The loan book grew like 3 times during this period. And this decade is now starting off on a much better footing. It will be a decade of maybe taking financing down to the bottom of the pyramid. So a mega decade, I think probably the best ever decade is coming up in 2020 to 2030. That's just my comment for you.
Aapke muh mein ghee shakkar. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. But actually this is an important observation that Vaidyanathan is making. We are starting this decade with a lighter balance sheet as far as financial companies are concerned. Most of the cleanup is done, and therefore they should be able to better support growth.
Okay, well, on that note, we need to take a break, but the market right now is seeing sharp recovery. The mid-cap index is already in the green.